coming by way of knockout. Tonight, he makes his third defense of his world title. He is the two-division world
upset. 12 rounds from Dallas, Texas. And it's very rare that Kyouguchi is this much taller. In fact, I'm guaranteeing you he's never been this much taller than an opponent.
No, not at all. That's the advantage that a fighter like Vega has. His entire life he spent fighting taller fighters, so he knows how to be explosive. He has quick hands. He knows how to jump in and out. He can be tricky and hard to time.
Kyouguchi has a really good offensive arsenal. One of his best shots, that left hook to the body, though. He's put a lot of opponents in trouble with that shot.
By the way, back to that entrance song for Kyouguchi. That was the song that Will Ferrell sang at the Catalina Wine Mixer. It's the Step Brothers. Dan Canibio giving me that note.
I knew it sounded familiar. Good uppercut by Kyouguchi. Both these fighters have really sharp uppercuts in the inside.
Good body shot, left hand, Kyouguchi.
Kyouguchi has excellent technique. Always has his hands up, coming forward with pressure. Digs nicely to the body.
The crowd rallying behind El Mini, who prefers to be called that rather than his full name. He just loves to be called El Mini. And this just shows you how great of a sport boxing is. What other sports, besides perhaps horse racing, could El Mini be a professional?
Wrestling.
Maybe Vince McMahon is watching right now. He could be a luchador.
No, not for nothing. I mean, Vega is tiny. I mean, he's not small. He's tiny, but he's very physical, and he knows how to fight that small. He knows how to. He's a fast counterpuncher. He has quick hands, quick on his feet.
Yeah, Vega's used to being counted out. He told us this week he had to prove himself every step of the way. Nobody believed he could become a professional boxer growing up, but then he put together a nice amateur record, and people that watched him started to believe pretty quick.
He turned pro at 17, which is the legal age that you can become a pro in Mexico. This is his second world title fight as well. He lost against Wilfredo Mendez in October 2019 for the WBO minimum weight championship.
10 seconds, stop at the bell, 10
I
segundos.
believe he can turn pro in Mexico at 16, Todd.
Well, he turned pro at 17.
Good body shots. See, that's another thing that Kyouguchi has. Excellent body.
Kyouguchi, the latest U.S. entrant in the light flyweight division. We've seen Elvin Soto here on DAZN. We've seen Felix Alvarado, so there's a chance.
Oh, good right hand there from Kyouguchi.
Big chance for Kyouguchi to get into some world title unification fights right here in the U.S.
Good body shots. I mean, that's what Kyouguchi really digs down. But they want, in Vega's corner, they want him to be, he was too tight that round. They want more fluidity. They want him to let his hands go.
Right hand there from El Mini. They used to call Sergio El Mini for a completely different reason. Big hands there. Kyouguchi downstairs.
See, this is what I meant by Vega. He likes to get in there. He has good uppercuts. When I was watching tape on him, and there's not many fights on him, but it was the uppercuts that surprised me, just like that. Fast hands, quick feet, dig down to the body. This is going to be a good fight.
Now, this is the range that Vega wants to be in, close quarters, because if it's a fight on the outside, he loses any advantage.
But that's the thing. Sometimes when you're dealing with a fighter this small, you're not accustomed to keeping him off. So there's no sparring for this, and you're in front of a tiny man that you don't know how to counter yet. I hated fighting shorter fighters, personally.
Vega saying those shots are below the belt. You saw him tapping on his waistband. He's going to put his head right in the chest of Kyouguchi and just fire away.
And it seems like Kyouguchi is welcoming that.
It's going to be a phone booth fight.
And there's that uppercut I was talking about with Vega. Kyouguchi coming off a 1.5-year layoff. That's another thing. Maybe he needs to warm up a little bit.
Right hand from Axel Aragon Vega. Can you imagine if El Mini can win a world title? 4 foot 9.5 inches tall. He'd be the shortest fighter in boxing history to have gold around his waist.
And the first fighter born in the 2000s to be a champion as well.
20 years old, El Mini fighting El Grande today.
Action coming from that round. Kyouguchi digging down to the body, but Vega responding. This is Vega's fight, the small man's fight. He's coming under and over with the left uppercut and left hooks. Right hand right there. Caught Kyouguchi.
Oh, we didn't know really what to expect in this fight from El Mini. Is this what you thought it might look like, Sergio?
Well, look, I was looking forward to Kyouguchi. I mean, there's a lot of hype behind him. He's a showman. He's fast. He's a power boxer. That's what I would describe him as. But he's dealing with a very extremely short fighter that's excellent at counter punching. So I think he's having a hard time not only with timing the shorter fighter, but with digging down to the body as well.
Let's take a look at Chris Mannix's scorecard through 2 rounds.
Split the first 2 rounds. Thought Kyouguchi did enough to win the first, but second round, Vega really impressed me with his offensive attack, pushing the fight, keeping it at a close distance, and landing some big power shots.
Well, Vega's a sneaky counter puncher. He has fast hands and quick feet. He can go in and out.
Of course, everyone remembers Spud Webb from the NBA and how short he was. He's 9 inches taller than El Mini.
See, those combinations keep the hands of Kyouguchi on his face. Vega threw a right uppercut, left to the body, right overhand right. So he doesn't give a chance to counter the punches of Vega.
Good body shot down low with the left hand from Kyouguchi.
Both fighters digging down hard to the body.
Whose body is going to fail them first? That's what it might come down to.
If you're Kyouguchi and you have him at this distance, you've got to throw that jab out there. You've got to try to score when you're keeping this kind of space.
Kyouguchi is 7 inches taller than Vega. Despite being 7 years younger than his opponent, El Mini has 4 more pro bouts under his belt. He also has more experience fighting in the United States, his 4th fight in the country, not including his 2 fights in Puerto Rico.
No, and Vega also was a national champion as an amateur, so he has that amateur experience as well.
10 seconds, step at the bell.
Body shots by Vega, pressing back.
And left hook connecting for El Mini.
Excellent round for Vega.
21st win over Saul Juarez. Kyouguchi's last fight in October 2019 as he defeated Tetsuya Hisada. That was a 12-round decision as well. Making his 2nd defense of his WBA light flyweight title tonight, or his 3rd defense tonight.
Here we go, box.
Yeah, like so many fighters, Kyouguchi, a victim of the pandemic. He had a fight scheduled for the fall last year that fell through, so he has had some stops and starts with his training camps.
No pegas atrás en la espalda.
And after coming off a 17-month layoff like Kyouguchi, I mean, this is the type of fighter you don't want to fight. A fighter this this small, this tiny, that has fast hands and knows how to explode like that, because you're not going to get sparring partners and prepare for a style like Vega's.
And again, it's Vega who's pushing the tempo, applying the pressure to Kyouguchi.
Not to be repetitive here, but when the space opens up, if you're Kyouguchi, you've got to keep throwing that jab out there. Keep trying to score points with that punch.
This is the first time I see Kyouguchi actually dictate the pace with the jab. And if you notice, he's not really trying to land it hard. He's just trying to keep Vega at bay, trying to set up counter shots or trying to catch Vega coming in.
There's not much room for Kyouguchi to land a punch on that small frame. It's like target practice. Body shot from Almeni. Mexico versus Japan. In our first title fight later tonight, it'll be Mexico versus Nicaragua. This is where Vega wants to be. Head to head, forehead to forehead, or forehead to chest.
And that's his style, Mexican style. He said he comes forward all the time, and I'm just going to out-punch my opponent.
Watch your shoulder there, Hiroto.
Vega told us Kyouguchi likes to come forward and throw punches. I do as well. This is going to be a brawl. And it pretty much has been.
10 seconds. Stop the bell. 10 segundos.
Exchange body work again. Close round. Round number 4. Round 5 scheduled for 12. Kyouguchi in the black. The defending champion making his 3rd title defense. Fighting in the United States for the first time. Almeni with his 2nd world title opportunity. And so far he's doing pretty well.
You know, Todd, I fought fighters that were 6'5", and I fought a fighter that was 5'6", and believe it or not, I'd rather fight the guy that was 6'5". I hated fighting short fighters, and we're seeing a good case here because fighters like Vega, they evolved to know how to fight taller fighters. They know how to spring in at the right time. And they're hard to time themselves. They have good counter punching abilities. Normally, to beat a fighter like this, Kyouguchi needs to make it, slow down the pace with long jabs, just like he did the last round, and just like he's doing here. Fight behind the jab. Don't fight the smaller man's fight.
Kyouguchi trying to get around those gloves. Whoa, what just happened here? Maybe an arm injury. And that'll do it. They're stopping the fight. It looked like maybe a shoulder dislocation or something. I'm not sure, but Almeni in a lot of pain.
Vega landed that left hand, and something seemed to give way. It looked at first like it was the arm.
I believe it's the right hand, and when it landed, he turned its back right away. I'm pretty sure that right hand's broken.
No, careful. He broke it, I think.
Just a brutal break for Vega, who was fighting an excellent fight, kept it close.
Hand like that, or maybe even a hit.
He's in a lot of pain. And not so much this time. That was a bad one.
And there it is. It was a punch on top of the head. That's what it was. I thought it might have been the elbow or maybe a hip shot. But when you're punching that hard and it lands on top of the head, that's the worst place for a fighter to land a punch.
Didn't look like he hit in an awkward way. I mean, he clipped him right on the temple.
And he's lucky he didn't eat that right hand from Kyouguchi. That would have been a career ender.